Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, allowance is made for fair use for such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Listen, all things are alleged and in my opinion. Let's go. Listen, child, let's get into this messy stuff going on over here with Alexis Skyy and her messy ex best friend Anthony. Y'all remember Anthony, the assistant who was on the Housewives, playing both Drew and Sheree? Now, child, the reason why I have Martell, Drew, and Sheree here is because I did put one of his old interviews in here that he did with House of Aaron, where he bigged up Sheree and Martell. But, child, we're gonna get into it all. Let's go. Okay, so listen, child. I don't know if you guys remember, but about 3 months ago, Alexis Skyy and Anthony allegedly got into some type of altercation. Okay. Now, during this altercation, he says that her goons beat him up and he put videos of him being beat up and all kind of stuff. But let me tell you the reason why I made this video. I made this video because I don't like no nigga. And yes, I said it. I don't like not one. To me, where all you seem to have smoke for is women. You don't mind throwing stuff at women, whatever you doing, it be out of line though, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not condoning whatever allegedly has supposed to happen between him and Alexis, but here, dude, you have shown nothing but the fact that you do not mind getting into it with women. Like him getting into it with Drew Sidora, him getting into it with Malaysia Pargo, him getting into it. Like there should be some type of way that you walk away from these situations. Now, what I'm also gonna say too is on the back end of that, if there are any women who feel like it's okay to put their hands on a man and that they don't respond, y'all got to keep your hands to yourself. Period. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't like to see no man. If you can walk away from the situation, you need to do just that. Walk away from the situation. It should never be a place where you stand in that and that's the way that you're behaving. So listen, Alexis Skyy went and addressed Anthony because recently on the neighborhood talk, shout out to them and other blogs, they recently posted the altercation. But let me remind you, let's go.
A little story time, you guys. On Friday, I was walking into my apartment complex and I wasn't even at the door, and my former best friend Alexis Skyy walked in out of it. I'm gonna just say out of it, and she had two other people with me and she assaulted me. I tried to turn around and walk away. She punched me in my face, and then the other girl came in punching me in the face, and then a guy came in. They were kicking me in my rib cage. I have a fractured rib, knocked one of my veneers out. Sure, knocked one of my teeth out, and it was just really, really bad. You guys, I'm scared. Like, she's been making threats against me. I can't go to my house. She's been doing a lot of personal attacks towards me and talking about me and my health and talking about me and just really doing a lot. But to physically attack me is uncalled for. You guys, I was attacked. I was hurt. And it really bothered me, you guys. I can't do this. Here's a little story time, you guys.
So there you have it. So he's claiming that that was his best friend. He watched over the child. Now, allegedly, the reason for the altercation was because they said he spoke on her child. Well, Yeah. I think anything surrounding a child, anything like that, should be off limits, especially if that's your best friend. You shouldn't speak around any of that. And he said that he was speaking on her parenting. But listen at what she had to say, child.
My best friend, and that was never my best friend. Number one, Anthony and I met at a hair salon. He was like begging me to be my assistant or whatever the case might be. I didn't know him from a can of paint. I didn't pay attention to his history or whatever the case might be. Long story short, I was looking for an assistant. The stuff that he was proposing to me, I was like, okay, cool, we could work together. Blase, blase, blah. When we needed somewhere to stay, I opened my doors to you. Okay? I opened my doors and my home to you after several people in the industry have called me. The day I even posted you, have called me and told me to stay away from you. And I let you live with me for 6 months. Okay? You stole my clothes, borrowed my stuff actually without asking me, stole my chain. Okay? You're now using my Amex card, and I'm going to show you guys proof. So you have a lot of legal actions against you right now. So while you're playing and keep trying to like attack me, it's a whole new year. So if this is the fame that you want, we're gonna spill the whole truth. I moved him to the same building as me, okay? Mind you, I said we were living in the same home and then we moved separately. Now I moved him in the same building because I put him in position to be able to live in the same building as me. So long story short, he then comes up to my apartment from the stairwell, okay, because he didn't want to be seen on the camera, and I open the door because I'm not thinking that he's gonna hit me. He throws an air freshener at my face in front of Lele and busted my lip and my fingernails. So I started. I'm not even gonna go there. So that was the first altercation. So
Right.
you hit your hands on me first at my home in front of my kid because you're upset. Like I'm confused. I'm still a woman and you're putting your hands on me in front of my daughter in the hallway. So you can have your footage, keep posting, but I'll have footage. Don't worry, because I'm in contact with Ring. You try to mess up my Ring account, whatever you're trying to do, keep trying.
But like,
But you put your hands. No, he
yeah,
put his hands on me first.
right.
And from there, guys, we live in the same building. So you wanted to disappear after you put your hands on me because you got scared. You started attacking me nonstop on the internet, calling CPS on me, calling my family, lying on me, telling them I'm on drugs, trying to basically ruin my character. You're using my Amex, still stealing from me. You stole my Louis bag. So that Louis bag that he has on, guys, the circle one, he stole my Louis bag. Because how did he mess up my Ring camera? Because Anthony was my personal assistant. He was not my best friend. He knew all my stuff. Anthony is
One thing I do know is when you fall out with a person like that, they always listen. I don't know, but anyway, as you guys can hear her say, she's saying that he at one point was living with her for 6 months, and child, she made allegations, and I'm gonna say allegations and alleged, honey, because I won't them and they want me. But she said that he absolutely took some money and all kind of stuff, and child, it's a lot, okay. Now in the video, I I gotta break that thing down and watch it over and over again because I'm trying to figure out. It looks like if she did put her hands on him, it almost looked like they was fighting someone else, if that makes any sense, based on what I saw. That's what it looked like. But anyway, so Alexis Skyy is coming out, and I do find it convenient that she is coming out. Now, again, I'm not condoning anything Anthony does. I think it is so disrespectful, especially what he did on the last season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta when he got in Drew's face, and then Candy confronted him about it, and I didn't like how he was talking to Candy. It was a lot, and I've done videos on him, right? But as you can hear, Alexis Skyy says she's going to post all these receipts and she's going to do this. I don't follow her on social media, so shout out to Live uh, Bits, I believe, that got that information. So again, I think Anthony be taking things to the next level when they don't really have to go there. But also, again, I don't know what happened in this friendship because you hear both of them saying something different, right? And I don't really think we'll ever get the truth because I don't believe Anthony innocent, nor do I believe Alexis Skyy is innocent. If I'm gonna be all the way 1,000 about it, right? Again, it does not take away from the fact that I don't think a man should consistently be in a woman's face if she does not like you or if she has an issue with you. So I want to take a trip down memory lane. All right. Let's start with the Malaysia Pargo situation.
So, anyways, yeah, girl. So Malaysia put her hands on me, and mind you, she didn't have her nails done
She
either.
did put her hands on you though.
Did she put her hands on me?
I had to get in between it.
Okay, she put her hands in my face and mushed me. And then on top of that, I don't hit women. But I told her, I said, girl, you need to stop shooting up all that Ozempic, girl, and you need to start paying your bills.
It was so funny. I'm not trying to laugh at it. I'm not trying to laugh. We were walking.
Tell them the story. Are you guys following me?
So she was like, I went over there to give her a hug and say hi to her and Bambi. So she turned around.
Who?
Bambi.
The Amazon.
Okay, so I turned around and she turned around. She was like, hold up. No, that's not what happened. She walked up to me. She was like, I know you. Let me tell the story. She was like, hold up. I know you. She was like, you. She ran down on Aunt, y'all, like, for real. So at that moment,
she ran down with some cheap ass soacates on. Just be very clear, honey, okay. And under the nails.
Okay, she ran down, and at that point, I didn't know, like, if Aunt was gonna hit her back or if Aunt was gonna stand there. Anthony's face was like,
I'm like, Malaysia. You done moved from Alpharetta, then you moved to Duluth, and now you done moved to Marietta. Now you done took your ghetto ass to Buckhead and put your hands on me. And then let me tell y'all what she did. My good girlfriend Estelina called me talking about Zell wanted to.
Now, this is also around the same time. I believe it was the same live video or the same live situation where he also discussed Yandy and Mendices. Okay. So remember, Alexis Skyy came out and apologized for being involved in that situation. And then we never saw them do that alleged show that they were supposed to be doing, right? So that's another interesting take on it. But I also want to play, shout out to the House of Aaron. I'm going to put the link to both interviews down in the comment section, but House of Aaron has interviewed him twice. And in these interviews, he talks about the altercations that he had with Drew. He talks about how he thought that Martell was a good guy. He had only known Martell for a month, but Martell was a good guy, and how him and Sheree was good girlfriends. But if y'all remember on the show, I believe Sheree and Drew, well, mainly Sheree, because remember, Sheree brought the text messages up where he alleged that Ralph was gay, if y'all remember correctly, right? That was season 14. And then it trickled over into season 15. He became her assistant again. And again, he's going to talk about all of that stuff. So I want to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to the House of Aaron. He got down to the T. But you're going to hear where he also talked about where Drew Sidora and him had an altercation down to the Lenithia Lounge when it was over. He also talked about how he was invited to the Lenithia Lounge and by Nene, and said that Nene was using Drew to get back on the show, child. Yes, he said that. So anyway, child, I'm going to play both of those clips, and then I'll come back with some short commentary, and then we're going to keep it pushing.
Like I said, I didn't come up anywhere. Me and my associate, which is Nene's makeup artist, she had texted us and she was just like, hey, you guys come up to the Lenithia. Now, Nene knew the entire situation, what was going on with me and Drew, okay? And she just told us to come up to the Lenithia so for me and Drew to talk. So, I walk into the building looking good, smelling good, doing what I do best. And I see Drew sitting there with the same Gucci bag that she's been wearing for eons. And she's sitting there with one of the old producers from Housewives. And Nene greets us, and we're all sitting in the section, and I'm about to get ready to order some of the legendary salmon bites that she has up at Lenithia, and Drew's sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe this, I can't believe that. Now, mind you, we had all been drinking that night. So, make a long story short, she started to pop off. Now, Drew didn't pay me my last check. She keeps talking about Sheree didn't pay me. Honey, Drew didn't pay me. Drew didn't pay me payment for my last week of work.
Oh, my God.
But, for money, so I ain't tripping about it. But at that time, I was just like, girl, you know what? You can definitely pay me my money. And Nene knew that she owed me money. Nene is a key. I love Nene Leakes, though. She is a legend.
So, anyways, so we up there, we get into it, and then she throws her cheap ass purse at me, and I threw it back at her, honey. I
Okay,
said, "Don't."
wait. What led up to that? That don't make sense. She just all of a sudden y'all was drinking and
Well,
kikiing
she
and
no, she was caught off guard that I was coming up there.
okay.
She was caught. She didn't know I was coming up there.
Okay.
And we were all in Nene's section. She like it's like a round section. So Drew's right there, Nene's right here, I'm right there, the associates right there, and then you know the entourage of people. And then she was, and I'm just like, Drew, you see me, girl. And she kept looking me up and down, running her mouth because it was a producer on the show that she had came with. I'm just gonna about to spill the tea, okay?
Spill
It was a
it.
producer on the show. His name is Ashton, right? Ashton, this is so crazy to me. But Ashton was in love with Drew. Like Ashton wanted to be with Drew. Ashton was another reason why Drew got on the show. Ashton was like her ears to like what was going on. Ashton, because you know on Housewives, all the producers they go to each other's houses and stuff like that. So Ashton was like that puppet, always reporting to Drew about what everybody had going on. But Ashton really liked Drew. And let me tell you something. Her and Ralph are married, but I don't know what type of marriage that they have because Ralph knew that Ashton wanted Drew, and I told him that night after the escapade at the Lanithia because I called him in the car and I told Ralph that he needs to come get his woman before I get somebody to come whoop her ass. I was about to call Tierra down here and a few of my other girls from Love and Hip Hop, and she was about to get it. Let's be very clear because she did too much in that Lanithia. She threw that cheap ass handbag at me. You know the Gucci that's written like in different. You know that one that everybody got that's weathered with the two G's on the little round coin bag. Look on the website. It's only 1,200, and she threw it at me. She's whack as fuck, and I threw it back at her. I said, you know, we can't say that word, but then we got into it. Nene was just sitting there like, oh my God. And then the security came or whatever. So Drew stands up and then Drew stands up and then I'm on the other end. I'm like, you know what? I don't have no time for this. And me and my friend had left. I had been drinking. I know at the end of the day, I can't put my hands on a woman and I would never put my hands on a woman. But
She
what I will
says
do is,
that you lunged at her.
yeah, I lunged that cheap ass handbag at her. I sure in the hell did. I didn't. That's not me putting my hands on her. That's me picking up something and throwing it back at you, just like you threw it at me. I don't
Okay.
carry cheap handbags, honey.
So she hit you with the handbag and you threw it back at her, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I lunged it at her. She says, let me tell you something. If I lunged at her or put my hands on her, don't you think she would have had me arrested or tried to sue me? Come on now.
Probably, yeah.
Exactly.
But she says she's
Case,
about that life, though. So she
huh?
don't look. She also
About
says she's about that life. Like she from Chicago. She told whatchamacallit, I'm from
baby. She's a phenomenal.
and
It's Mecca's world.
I love that.
Yeah,
So you be hanging out with the baby?
I've been around the baby a couple of times. You know, we ran errands together. I've been over to the house to play with the baby, and you know, she's a phenomenal grandmother. I believe that that Cairo is a great father, and his baby mother is exceptionally beautiful. She should really be sitting with the Kardashians, if you ask me.
Oh my
He
God.
has really good taste in women.
Oh my God.
I live for her, actually.
So you went to Mecca's party, and then Drew Sidora showed up.
Yeah, she showed up with her belly in tow.
She did not want to go in.
Yeah, she didn't want to go in because we had an altercation at Nene's Lounge
Right.
a few months prior to that. And you want to know what the altercation happened because of her?
Right. We talked about that.
Right. I'm
Right.
gonna tell you,
so
honey.
she threw a bag.
She threw
You said
a cheap bag.
A Gucci bag.
Yeah, black.
Gucci's not cheap.
Honey, her bag was cheap. It's the black round one with the colorful G's on it. You know, about 4 years old. She wears a lot of plagiarized bags, honey. So I don't know if it was real or fake, honey. But I just know she threw it at me, honey. And you see how I come through.
So she threw it at you, and you threw it back. So did you hit her? It was no fist to fist contact, no skin to
it was no fist to fist.
Okay.
It was no fist to fist. It was she threw the bag at me. I threw it back at her. I read her for filth. I called her husband afterwards and read his wife for filth to him on the phone. And I actually had, you know, my friend Freedom with me. He's the celebrity makeup artist. It was just a wild, crazy night that night. I believe that Nene at that time was possibly trying to get back on the show, and she used the weakest link on the show to help her do that, which was Drew. She insisted that we came up to the lounge, honey, and she got a live recording and a live show.
A mess.
It was a mess, honey. But it was a legendary time at that Lanithia.
So at Sheree's party, she didn't want to go. So what happened? Did she end up going into the party? Like, did you have to leave?
Well, honey, I didn't have to go anywhere.
Did you leave?
No, I did not. I left when I wanted to.
But you left and then she came?
No, we were there about the same amount of time. She actually left like 15 minutes after I did.
So she walked into the party while you was there?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all speak?
I was yelling at her during the down, like, okay, so Sheree has a beautiful home.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the living room and Drew was going downstairs. Drew, I was, just reading her for filth for the late girl that she is. She doesn't know how to live in her truth. And I let her know about that, Her and Ralph met at a swingers club back in LA. And it's just, she started living in her truth.
What you mean swingers is like married couples, no? Like couples, right?
So, let me tell you something. Drew has been eating pussy. She's been kissing women. And she's been indulging in lesbian activities since I've known her.
And that was back in LA. How far away? How long ago was that?
Ooh, the year 2015. The place, the Valley, North Hollywood. North Hollywood, just all over LA. She was running around kissing girls, honey. Katy Perry was playing Live, Live, and Proud in the background.
So, honey, I had to give y'all a little recap, and I had to take y'all down a trip down memory lane, okay? We knew that the relationship between Martell and Sheree weren't real, okay? We found that at the last Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion that it was most definitely made up, pretty much, okay? And I'm going to go down in history and say this. I believe that they agreed to help each other. Sheree agreed to you come on Housewives and help me, and he agreed you come on Love and Marriage Huntsville, you help me. And I still think Tiffany ate her up, but that's neither here nor there. What do you guys feel about this Alexis thing with Anthony? What do you guys feel about Anthony, period? I do believe he is a messy queen that love to keep things going. And when I say again, you should leave these women alone. You shouldn't be having no issues with these women. And honestly, if they ever approach you, you should turn around and walk the other way. It's very simple. Okay? We don't need this. You got to do better, Anthony. Okay? And no, I don't care anything about any of the other baloney he talking about and saying he don't have a problem calling these women bees and hoes and all of that kind of stuff. And it ain't like, no, 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 no. You can't do that to these women face, nor can you do it behind their back, but you sure can't do it to their faces and not expect them to retaliate or feel some type of way about you disrespecting them. Now, again, I don't know about this altercation between him and Alexis Skyy. I feel like we missing some information there. But as you guys can see from that live where he discussed Yandy and Mendeecees and he discussed what happened with Malaysia Pargo, we hadn't seen them together since. Okay. And again, she's alleging that it was because, or he's alleging that it is because she said that he spoke on her daughter negatively, but he's basically saying that he didn't, and he was speaking on her parenting. Again, nevertheless, y'all make sure y'all check out all of this here. Let me know what you guys feel down in the comment section. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Please make sure that you share, like, subscribe, and if you'd like to become a member, become a member. Follow me on Fanbase at the Chef Don Don with 2 E's. Okay, and listen, child, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. All right, y'all be safe and don't do nothing I wouldn't do. All right, bye. Hey.